My beloved child, there is a sacred reason why you are still breathing, still walking upon this earth amid the upheavals of life. Every moment of your existence is neither accidental nor meaningless. Each instant preserved for you is woven into the design I inscribed before the dawn of creation. Know this, my child, the time left for you to listen, to receive, and to respond to the urgent call resounding from my very heart is short. Do not think this is a casual reminder, for even now your destiny is being weighed upon the scales. A force is drawing near, not to bless you, but to seek to devour your soul. You will not be able to stand if you neglect my word in this critical hour. You have felt the heaviness, the confusion, and you have wondered why trials have unceasingly swept over you. I have seen your tears, the nights you whispered your laments in silence, the days when you thought everything around you had collapsed. Nothing has escaped my sight. Even when you thought I was silent, within that very silence I held you in my unseen arms. As it is written in Psalm 3:4-1-8, "The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." I have never abandoned you, but I have allowed you to walk through affliction in order to refine you, to teach you, and to prepare you for a decisive hour, and that very hour has now come to you. You must understand that the choices you make in this brief moment will either open or close doors leading to your destiny. I have given you free will, for I desire a relationship born of true love, not compulsion. But with the gift of free will, you must choose where to stand, either in the light or in the darkness. The time is no longer abundant for hesitation, because your enemy never ceases his work. He lurks, he waits for the smallest cracks in your heart to sow seeds of fear and doubt. He knows well your old wounds, the weaknesses you try to conceal, and he will seek to drive them deeper in order to destroy you from within. But do not fear, for I have spoken. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 4:1-10. Open the ears of your soul and hear every word I speak. This is not a common conversation, but an urgent call unto salvation. For the battle you face is not against flesh and blood, but a spiritual war waged since the beginning. The evil one never sleeps. He seeks continually to rob you of joy, of peace, and of the purpose I have placed within your heart. Yet remember, I do not leave you to face this alone. I am your shield, your stronghold, your safest refuge. As Psalm 4:6-1 declares, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Time is passing swiftly, like sand slipping through the hourglass. You cannot stand still. You cannot waver forever between two paths. If you allow fear and distraction to reign, you will easily be pulled away from the great design I have prepared for you. But if you take hold of my word, trust, and walk in my guidance, you will see that even the densest darkness cannot swallow the light I give. For I am the light of the world, and wherever that light shines, the darkness must flee. I know you have been weak, many times have doubted, often even reached the point of wanting to surrender everything. Yet it is in that very weakness that my power is made perfect. It is when you feel helpless that I reveal my boundless strength, so that you may realize you are not fighting alone. As the Apostle Paul exclaimed in 2 Corinthians 1:2-9, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Therefore, do not look at your own limitations. Lift your eyes to me, the Creator, the one who upholds the universe in His mighty hand. Remember, you are not an accident. You are not a coincidence. You are my workmanship, carefully fashioned, woven together with clear intention and sacred purpose. Even when the world assigns you labels of worthlessness, I call you by another name, chosen one, beloved one, and bearer of a high destiny. For this reason, I urge you not to heed the lying whispers of the enemy, but to listen to my voice of comfort, of strength, and of encouragement. This is the moment of decision. I am extending my hand, offering you a path to walk, a way of escape from destruction, a promise of protection, and a secured future. But you must choose. You must take the first step. Let your heart become tender, let your ears be opened, and let your soul respond to the call of the one who has loved you from everlasting. If you grasp my hand now, you will witness miracles not only in deliverance from danger, but in the transformation of your very life at its roots. My child, I love you with an everlasting love, a love unshaken by failure, sin, or distance. Yet that love calls you to trust, to obey, and to walk with me. Do not wait for another sign, for the greatest sign is that I am speaking to you now. Do not wait for another chance, for the most important chance is the very present moment. This is the hour for you to choose life instead of death, light instead of darkness, and me instead of the world. My child, the time in which you live is unlike the ordinary days of the past. This is the hour of testing the threshold where darkness and light clash more fiercely than ever before. I do not speak to you to make you tremble, but to awaken your soul, to make you realize the seriousness of this moment. For what I am warning you about does not arise from imagination or fleeting emotion, but from eternal truth, that there is indeed an enemy drawing near, and his only intent is to destroy what I have planted within you. Do you remember what I declared in John 10:10? The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it abundantly. This is not a mere metaphorical saying, but a clear picture of the battle surrounding you. The evil one does not care how much wealth, status, or fame you possess. His desire is to suffocate your faith, to steal your hope, and to plunge your soul into despair. He wants to make you forget that you were created in my image, and that you carry within yourself a sacred purpose that no power on earth can erase. My beloved child, I have kept you alive until this very day, not so that you may continue wandering in confusion, but so that you may become a testimony of my saving power. You now stand at a moment when your choice will open the path toward light or lead you astray into the abyss. Do not be deceived into thinking that you can delay endlessly. Every passing moment is a step closer to a destiny that cannot be reversed. As it is written in Hebrews 3:1-5, today if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts. You must seize the present moment, for tomorrow does not belong to you, and the opportunities of the past will not return. Let me open your eyes to the truth. The adversary does not appear in a form easily recognized, but disguises himself in familiar whispers, the voices of doubt, anxiety, and unworthiness. He can make you believe that you are undeserving of my love, that your past failures have stained you beyond hope. But all of this is a lie. You must learn to distinguish my voice from his. My voice always brings life, light, and peace. His voice always sows darkness, fear, and bondage. You must remain vigilant, for even in the smallest thoughts you may leave a door open for the enemy to enter. I have given you weapons to fight and to stand firm. Not swords or spears of steel, but spiritual weapons mighty enough to demolish every scheme of the wicked one. I have placed in your hands the sword of the living word, the shield of faith to quench every fiery dart of the devil, and the helmet of salvation to guard your mind. You are not left bare on the battlefield, but fully armed for every attack. The only question is whether you will choose to put on this armor and use it. Do not let my words remain confined to the pages of a book. Let them become your breath, your strength, and your daily reality. Do you know why I am calling you at this moment? Because I have seen potential in you that you yourself have not recognized. Within you lie seeds of courage, of faith, and of perseverance. You think yourself weak, but in my eyes you were created to stand firm in the storm. You think you have nothing, but I see treasures in your soul, treasures I placed there before you were born. As Jeremiah 1:5 declares, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. This means that your existence is no accident. Every detail of your being has been woven with purpose and intent. I know there have been times when you felt my silence, walking through seasons of loneliness that seemed endless. But my silence has never meant absence. It has been the place where I shaped and strengthened your soul. I saw the way you kept walking though your legs trembled, the way you kept praying though your tears flowed. And that alone proves there is still a spark of faith within you, and with even the smallest spark I can breathe forth, a flame that no darkness can ever extinguish. Therefore, hold fast to me. Do not let go. Do not let the distractions of the world carry you away. The world may promise fleeting pleasures, but only I can give eternal life. You may find comfort in the praise of others, but only I can heal the deepest wounds of your heart. You may run to many places for solutions, but in the end only in me will you find the true way out. As Psalm 6:2-1 says, "Truly my soul finds rest in God, my salvation comes from Him." This is the hour of decision. There is no room left for hesitation. The enemy stands at the very door, and every moment of delay gives him more opportunity to enter. But I am also at the door, extending my hand, waiting for you to take it. When you place your trust in me, you will no longer be the victim, but the victor. When you surrender everything to me, you will no longer tremble in the dark, but stand firm in the light. I call you even now, choose me, believe me, and walk in my protection. My beloved child, there are things your eyes cannot see, but your soul must know. Everything in your life, from simple joys to painful losses, has never been outside of my providence. You may ask why I allow you to walk through storms, why I do not remove all sorrow and trial. But my child, it is precisely through these trials that I refine you, so you may become stronger, deeper, and mature in faith. You are purified like gold through fire, becoming radiant and pure. As James 1:3-4 says, "Because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work, so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything." My child, you are never alone. I have always been right beside you, even when you could not feel me. Every tear you shed I have kept, every whispered prayer in the night I have heard, every hidden pain within your heart I have understood. You may think no one knows you, but I know you better than you know yourself. I have engraved your name on the palms of my hands, and no power can ever tear you away from my love. As Romans 8:39 declares, "For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God." That love is not fragile, not here today and gone tomorrow. It is steadfast, eternal, unshaken by your failures or your past sins. It was this very love that moved me to send my only Son into the world, to die in your place, to open the way for you to return into my embrace. When you look upon the cross, you see undeniable proof that I have never abandoned you and never will. What seemed like defeat was in truth the greatest victory. While darkness believed it had won, I used what looked like tragedy to open the door of eternal life for you. Yet, my child, this love requires a response. Not because I need your acknowledgement, but because love is never forced. I do not want you to live as a slave in fear, but as a child who freely runs into the arms of a father. You may choose to turn away, and I will not use my power to compel you. But understand this, if you choose another path, you step outside of my protection, beyond the covering I have prepared for you, and the enemy waits ready to strike at the smallest opening. Picture this, a child lost in the crowd without his father's hand. That child is easily swept away, harmed, and left without direction. But if he clings to his father's hand, he remains safe, no matter how chaotic the crowd becomes. So it is with you. This world is full of confusion, temptations, and snares. But if you hold firmly to my hand, you will walk securely, even when the storm rages around you. Remember the times I have rescued you in the past. Situations that seemed impossible, yet you came through. You may have thought it was coincidence or your own strength, but it was my hand that quietly made the way, moved mountains, and carried you across the chasm. I did this not because you were worthy, but because my love for you has never depended on worthiness. You may stumble, you may fall, but I have never ceased to love you, and I have never stopped calling you back. Be alert. The enemy draws near, and he will not abandon his intent to destroy. But you do not need to fear, for I have already overcome. I am the one who parted the sea for my people to cross, the one who shut the mouths of lions before Daniel, the one who walked with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace, and the one who called Lazarus back from the tomb. I am still the same today, and I do not change. If I perform miracles for them, I will do the same for you. If I deliver them, I will also deliver you. Even so, you must choose. This is no longer the time for hesitation. You must decide where you will stand. Will you continue chasing after the voice of the world, or will you respond to my call of love? Will you allow fear to govern your steps, or will you let faith lead you into your Father's embrace? I am reaching out my hand. Will you place yours in mine? I am calling you with everlasting love. Will you answer, this is the appointed hour, and the choice is yours to make? My beloved child, when I tell you that you are in a battle, it is not a metaphor to encourage you, but a spiritual reality surrounding your life each day. This is not a battle fought with swords or human power, but a spiritual war where the forces of darkness ceaselessly seek to manipulate, deceive, and destroy. You must awaken to the truth that what your eyes see is only the surface. Behind it rages a fierce clash between light and darkness. As Ephesians 6:1-2 declares, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." You must not treat this lightly. The enemy knows your weaknesses. He lurks at every small opening in your heart to sow seeds of doubt, bitterness, and fear. At times he comes not with violent attacks, but with soft whispers that lead you astray. He can make you believe you are not good enough, that your prayers do not reach my ears, that I have forgotten you long ago. And if you accept these lies, you will begin to give up, to let the flame of faith die out, and eventually drift away from the path I have prepared for you. But my child, I have never called you to fight this battle in your own strength. I myself have equipped you with everything you need to stand against the evil one. I have placed in your hands my word, living powerful, sharper than any two-edged sword. Each time you meditate, declare, and trust in my word, you wield a weapon strong enough to break every chain of the enemy. I have given you faith, not as an abstract concept, but as a shield capable of extinguishing every fiery dart of the adversary. I have given you the helmet of salvation to guard your mind against false accusations and groundless condemnation. All is ready, but you must put it on. You must rise up, and you must act. Imagine this: a soldier, though equipped with solid armor, would be no different from a naked man in the midst of battle if he does not wear it. In the same way, I have prepared for you, but you must take the initiative to put on that protection. You must decide to use what I have given. When you pray, when you praise, when you believe my promises, instead of listening to the lies, that is when you are clothing yourself with spiritual armor and standing firm against every attack. My child, this battle is not meant to terrify you, but to reveal my glory through your life. When you face the darkness, you will see my light shine all the brighter. When you are attacked, you will experience my strength upholding you. When you feel pressed on every side, you will see my mighty arm opening a way of escape. As it is written in 1 Corinthians 10:13, God is faithful. He will not let you be tempted beyond what you can bear. But when you are tempted, He will also provide a way out so that you can endure it. I do not want you to think this battle is beyond your ability because I, myself, am fighting for you. I do not call you to become a hero in your own strength, but to be a child who takes refuge in his Father. When you are weak, I am strong. When you tremble, I am steadfast. When you do not know the way, I am the way. All I ask of you is not perfection, but simple trust. Trust that I am with you. Trust that I hold all power, and trust that I will never forsake you. You may see yourself as a small warrior, but in my eyes you are surrounded by an entire host of angels. You do not fight alone. When you pray, angels move. When you declare, my word, darkness trembles. When you remain faithful, you are partaking in a victory already determined from the beginning. For the outcome of this battle is sealed. I have triumphed. You only need to stand firm in that truth and not allow the enemy to deceive you. Do not let fear make you bow before the wicked one. Do not let doubt cause you to forget the one who created you. This is the time for you to recognize that you are not a victim, but an heir of an eternal kingdom. You carry within you the bloodline of the conqueror, and therefore you are also called to overcome, as Romans 8:3-7 declares. In all these things, we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us. My beloved, the enemy you face does not always come with a fierce face or obvious signs, but often cloaks himself in what is familiar, making it hard for you to discern. He may come as a fleeting thought in your mind, sowing seeds of doubt, whispering that I have abandoned you, that your prayers vanish into the void. He may use painful memories from the past to chain your soul, making you believe you will never overcome the wounds etched so deeply. He may exploit your moments of weakness to persuade you that you are powerless, that all effort is in vain. But my child, remember, he is the father of lies, and there is no truth in him. As John 8:44 says, when he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. You must stay alert and realize that his ultimate purpose is not merely to make you sad or disappointed, but to rob you of the destiny I have placed within you. He knows that if you grasp faith and walk in my will, you will become a light to many others. That is why he seeks to smother the flame before it ever fully burns. He is not afraid when you are weak. He fears you when you stand firm in me. He trembles when you kneel in prayer, because he knows that one person praying in faith can shake the heavens. Do not fear. You do not need to fight alone. I am the one who has already won the battle. Darkness may prowl, but my light will cause it to vanish. The enemy may roar like a lion, but I am the true lion of the tribe of Judah, and my roar is far greater. You are not alone in this war. You have me, you have my word, and you have a host of angels ready to intervene. I have commanded my angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways, so that even if you stumble, you will not be destroyed. As Psalm 9:111 declares, for he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. Remember the times in your life when you thought you would collapse, yet you rose again. That was not merely your own inner strength, but my hand lifting you up. The enemy wants you to forget that, to think those victories were only luck. But I want you to remember each time you overcame was proof that I was with you, that I acted on your behalf. If I did it once, I will do it again. I do not change, and I never grow weary in rescuing you. My child, what you must do is stand firm in the truth, not swayed by emotions or circumstances. Do not let your mind drift with the waves of doubt. Anchor your soul in my promises. As Colossians 3:1-6 exhorts, let the word of Christ dwell in you richly. When you are filled with my word, the enemy has no space to sow lies. The more you meditate and declare my word, the more you build a fortress he cannot penetrate. Your faith does not need to be great to accomplish wonders. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, "Move from here to there," and it will move. You may think yourself small, but in my hands that smallness is enough to create waves of transformation. I do not look at the size of your faith. I look at the sincerity of your heart. A single cry from the depths of a sincere heart is more powerful than 1,000 eloquent words without soul. Do not be surprised that the enemy continually attacks you. The truth is, the fiercer his attacks, the clearer the proof that you are walking the right path, drawing nearer to the destiny I have ordained. If you held no value, he would not waste his effort troubling you. But because you carry my light, because you are called to be an instrument in my hand, he strives in every way to hinder you. Instead of fearing, consider it proof that you are standing in the very place I want you to be, and in that place I will reveal my glory. My child, you do not need to understand all the mysteries of this battle. You only need to believe that I am in control. When you do not know how to take the next step, I will show you the way. When you feel lost, I will light the path. When you tremble, I will be your strength. I call you not to fix your eyes on the storm, but on me, the one who can still the tempest with a single word. Fix your gaze on me, cling to me, and let your lips continually proclaim my promises. The enemy will test you with every trick, but do not be deceived. Remember, he only has power over what you give him. If you do not open the door, he cannot enter. If you hold fast in faith, he cannot defeat you. If you remain under my protection, he cannot touch your soul. As James 4:7 teaches, resist the devil and he will flee from you. Do not let lies overshadow the truth. Do not let fear outweigh faith. Do not let the past hinder the future I have prepared. Stand firm in the light, walk in the promises, and know that you are covered by a love that never fades. Though darkness may try to surround you, it will never overcome the light that has risen within you. My beloved child, I have never left you to walk this journey alone. From the very beginning I have seen you, even before you were born, and I have known every day you would live. Every trial, every turn, every moment of pain has never escaped my sight. You thought you were lost, but I have always gone ahead to prepare the way. That is why I have given you every weapon you need to stand firm. I did not create you to collapse easily, but to become a warrior in the kingdom of light. Though you feel fragile in me, you are equipped to conquer. Though you feel small in my hands, you can accomplish great things beyond your understanding. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. You may doubt yourself, but remember that true strength does not come from you, but from the one who dwells within you. It is the power of my Spirit that is the source of courage, peace, and unfailing hope. Therefore, do not let fear bind you. See fear as a mist that will vanish when the light of faith shines through. You must choose how to walk, either in fear or in faith. Fear will paralyze you, cause you to see only darkness, strip away hope, and eventually rob you of your future. But faith will open a new horizon where you see what the natural eye cannot see, where you hear my voice among 1,000 noises, and where you feel my shelter even when the world seems to collapse. Faith is not a leap into nothingness, but a decision to trust the one who holds all things. When you put your trust in me, you are anchoring your soul to the rock that cannot be shaken. I have not only given you promises, but I have proven my faithfulness through countless generations. Israel was trapped between the sea and an army, but I parted the Red Sea to make a way. Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, but I shut the mouths of the beasts to protect him. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were cast into the fiery furnace, but I walked with them in the flames, and they came out unharmed. Lazarus was dead for 4 days, yet with a single word I raised him. My child, these are not distant memories, but living proof that I never change. If I did it for them, I will do it for you. Every trial is not to destroy you, but to refine you. Just as gold must pass through fire to be pure, so you must pass through adversity to reveal your true strength. You need not fear when the flames come, for I will be with you in the fire. When you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you are not alone, for my rod and my staff will comfort you. Psalm 2:3-4. These are not vague promises, but unshakable realities. Look back at your life and see the times you thought you had fallen for good, yet you rose again. That was no accident. That was me lifting you with my mighty hand. The enemy wants you to forget to think it was just a chance. But I want you to engrave in your heart that I am still working, even when you do not perceive it. If I rescued you once, I will rescue you again. If I have kept you alive until today, it is because your purpose is not yet complete. I do not promise that you will never face storms, but I promise you will never be swallowed by them. I do not say that you will never encounter fire, but I promise the fire will not consume you. I do not say that you will never walk through valleys of darkness, but I assure you that I will walk beside you in every step, and it is this presence that the enemy can never take away. Therefore, you must make a decision. There is no more time for hesitation, no more room for wavering. The enemy lurks at the door, but I am also standing there, my hand extended. You can choose to close your heart, or you can place your hand in mine. You can choose to live in fear, or to stand in the victory I have already secured. I have told you, in all these things, we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Romans 8:3-7. That victory is mine, and when you choose me, that victory is also yours. Picture yourself as a lamp placed on a high stand. If you let that light shine, it will pierce the darkness and guide many others. But if you let fear cover it, the lamp will be hidden and lose its purpose. My child, I call you not to let that light be extinguished. Let it burn brightly, for I have placed within you the fire of my spirit, a flame no power can ever snuff out. My child, I want you to know that your future is not in the enemy's hands, but in mine. No matter what your past has been, I can turn it into testimony. No matter what your present looks like, I can transform it into opportunity. And no matter where you are, I can lead you to the place I have appointed. All I ask is that you choose to believe, to stand with me, to walk in my guidance, and you will see the impossible become possible, closed doors swing open, and what was dead come to life again. My beloved child, in the moments when you feel as if everything around you is collapsing, when your mind is whirling with anxiety and your heart is sinking into fear, remember that I remain your safest refuge. No matter how fierce the storm rises, no matter how thick the darkness becomes, my presence does not change. I am not standing afar off as a distant observer, but I step into the very storm with you. I do not merely offer words of comfort. I am the strength that upholds you when your legs tremble. As Psalm 4:6-1 declares, God is our refuge and strength and ever-present help in trouble. This is not an empty promise, but a reality that has been proven time and again. You have walked through situations you thought were impossible to endure. There were days when you felt yourself drowning, with no breath left to rise above the waters. There were nights you tossed and turned, wondering if the morning would bring even a glimmer of light. Yet it was in those very moments that I came and held you steady. You may not have noticed, but it was I who lifted you when you were on the verge of collapse. It was I who placed breath in your lungs each morning so that you could open your eyes and continue the journey. It is no accident that you are still here today. It is the evidence that I have been holding you in the power of my hand. Look back on your past as a testimony. How many times did you think you had reached the end, yet you survived? How many times did you believe hope was gone, yet a way was opened? Do you think these were mere coincidences? No, my child. It was I who went before you, who shielded you, who moved mountains, who opened the way. Etch this truth upon your heart. If I have done it once for you, I will do it again. If I upheld you yesterday, I will uphold you today and tomorrow as well. I know there are times you doubt yourself. You ask whether you are strong enough to endure yet another trial. But I tell you, this true strength does not come from you. It comes from me, the one who lives within you. My power makes you steadfast. When you are weak, I am strong. When you are lost, I am the light that guides you. When you are exhausted, I am the unending source of life. You do not have to struggle alone, for I have promised I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 1:3-5. You must learn to place your burdens into my hands. You have carried too many worries, weights heavier than you were ever meant to bear. I never called you to carry them alone. Give me your fears, your doubts, even the plans you clutch so tightly. Only when you release them can I work fully in your life. Just as a child cannot hold on to a heavy stone while also receiving a gift from his father, you cannot cling to burdens and at the same time grasp the blessings I desire to place in your hands. Let go, my child, so that your hands are free to hold mine. Every trial you face is an opportunity for me to reveal my power and love. Where you see a dead end, I see a door. Where you see a chasm, I see a bridge. Where you see failure, I see a stepping stone that will lift you higher. You can only see in part, but I see the whole picture. As Isaiah 5:8-9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts." This is why I call you to trust, not because I need recognition, but because trust is the key that unlocks the peace and victory you long for. When you trust, you will no longer be consumed by worry. When you surrender, you will find rest. When you place your faith in me, you will walk in a freedom the world cannot give. As darkness presses in, lift your eyes to my light. As storms roar, listen to my whisper. Do not fear, for I am with you. As the world tries to drag you down, remember I have called you to walk above. Do not look only at what your eyes can see. Look through the eyes of faith. For in faith, you will see that even in the deepest darkness, my light shines far greater. I am teaching you to stand not by your own strength, but by mine. I want your life to become a living testimony to others, so that when they look at you, they will know that I am faithful. Each victory you gain is not only a blessing for you, but a testimony to bring hope to those who wander in despair. You are not called merely to survive, but to live with purpose, to bring hope, and to shine as light in the midst of darkness. My beloved child, I know there are moments when the trial feels unbearably long, when you wonder if I still hear you. You have prayed in the midnight hours, you have wept in silence, you have searched the skies for a ray of light and found only shadows. Deep in your heart, you may have whispered, "Lord, where are you? Why are you silent?" Yet know this, my child, my silence is not absence. On the contrary, in the very moments you think I am silent, I am working more than ever. Just as a seed lies hidden in the dark soil, appearing lifeless, yet inside it, transformation is at work. Until the day it breaks forth into a thriving tree, so too am I at work in you. Though unseen, I am preparing a great harvest in your life. I want you to understand that every trial carries purpose. I do not allow you to endure hardship simply to suffer, but to refine, to shape, to make you steadfast. The wound you thought was the end will become proof of healing. The failure you thought was final will be the threshold to a new beginning. Do you remember my words in Romans 8:8? And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. This means that even when the enemy intends destruction, I can turn it into blessing. Do not let weariness stop your steps. I know how tired you are from fighting battle after battle. I know how many times you have wanted to quit, thinking you had no strength left to continue. But hear me, victory is not for those who stop midway, but for those who endure to the end. As Matthew 2:4-13 says, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. You do not need to carry all the strength for a lifetime in a single day. You need only offer me each step day by day, and I will provide the strength. Remember, my word is the only sure foundation. When the world shifts, when people change, when everything shakes, my word never changes. As Matthew 2:4-5 declares, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will never pass away. When you stand on this foundation, you will not be swept away by emotions or circumstances. Let my word become your compass. When you do not know where to go, it will guide you. When you feel lost, it will be a lamp to your feet and a light for your path. Psalm 119:105. I have seen how you fight in silence. I have seen the times you wiped away tears, but still prayed. I have seen the times you rose to your feet though weary, refusing to give up. Not a single moment has been wasted. They are recorded in the book of life, and I will reward your faithfulness. Not one tear has been forgotten. Not one prayer has been in vain. All of it is being woven together into a greater picture where my glory will shine through your very life. Yet be vigilant, the enemy will do all he can to drown out my voice. He will magnify fear, causing you to look at the waves instead of the one who commands them. Remember the story of Peter walking on the water. When his eyes were fixed on me, he walked miraculously above the waves. But when his gaze shifted to the storm, he began to sink. So it is with you. If you fix your eyes on the trial, you will be swallowed by it. But if you fix your eyes on me, you will walk upon what once threatened to destroy you. I do not call you to understand everything. I know much is beyond your reasoning. I call you to trust. Faith opens doors that reason cannot. Faith parted the Red Sea, brought down the walls of Jericho, raised the dead, and turned the impossible into reality. Faith does not remove the trial, but gives you the power to overcome it in victory. You are not alone. A great cloud of witnesses surrounds you. Hebrews 1:2-1. They are those who went before you, who held their faith through hardship, and now they stand as living testimony that you too can endure. They cheer you on, urging you not to quit. They have finished their race, and you are called to continue yours. So stand firm, my child. Do not let lies drown out truth. Do not let circumstances overshadow promises. Do not let fear overpower faith. Stand upon my word. Hold fast to my unchanging promises, and believe that I have never failed and never will. If you do this, you will not only survive, but live in glorious victory. The world will see and know that I am the faithful God who has worked wonders in your life. My beloved child, I want you to know that my protection over you is not temporary but everlasting. It does not depend on circumstances, places, or your strength, but upon my unchanging nature. I am the eternal one who guards you yesterday, today, and forevermore. What I begin, I will finish. What I protect, no one can touch. As Jesus declared, I give them eternal life, and they shall never perish. No one will snatch them out of my hand. John 1:0-8. This is the sure guarantee that your life is always held securely in my steadfast hand. This eternal protection means that even when you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, you are never abandoned. There will be moments when darkness seems to surround you, when fear seeks to devour you, and when you feel utterly alone. Yet in those very moments, I draw closer than ever. I carry you when you can no longer walk. I wipe your tears when you are weary. I whisper into your heart, do not fear, for I am with you. You will come to see that safety does not lie in escaping danger, but in my presence ever beside you. For when I am with you, even in the storm, you will stand firm. Eternal protection also means that every scheme of the enemy must bow before my will. He may devise his plans, but I have already gone ahead to undo them. He may attempt to harm you, but I turn it into an opportunity for your good. Just as Joseph once said, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good. Genesis 5:0-20. In the same way, every plot against you becomes a stepping stone that I use to lift you higher. The enemy does not have the final authority over your life. Only I do. And I have decreed that you will remain safe until the purposes I have appointed are fulfilled. I do not want you to shrink back or hide away, but to step out and fulfill your calling. When you know you are shielded, you will dare to do greater things. You will dare to walk into dark places, to bring light, to speak truth, even when opposed, to show love, even when it is not returned. For you know that your life rests in my hands, and no force can touch you unless I allow it. This is true. Freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from limitation. Freedom to live fully for me. My child, this protection extends even into your future. I do not only guard you today, but I also hold every day yet to come. You do not know what lies ahead, but I already know it all. You cannot control tomorrow, but I have already ordained it. Therefore, set aside your anxieties about the future. Do not let fear rob you of peace. Trust that my hand will continue to lead you, just as it has done in the past. Look back and see. Have I not preserved you through many trials already? If I was faithful yesterday, will I not be faithful tomorrow as well? The Lord is faithful, and he will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one. 2 Thessalonians 3:3. This eternal protection also means that neither death nor any power can ever separate you from my love. Paul declared, "For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future nor any powers, neither height nor depth nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus, our Lord." Romans 8:3-8:9. This is the everlasting truth. You are covered by an unshakable love, and nothing can break this covenant. Therefore live as one who is fully secure, no longer trembling in uncertainty. Rise up in confidence. Let my protection be the foundation upon which you live a bold life. Do not allow fear to hold back your dreams, nor doubt to slow your steps. Walk forward with courage, for I have built an unbreakable hedge around you. Let your life become a testimony that there is a living God who guards, preserves, and never abandons those who belong to him. And as you do, many will find their safety in me, because they see the peace and boldness in you. So rest in this truth. You are not only blessed but shielded, not only for today but for eternity. And as you step into any season, into any trial, you may declare with David, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." Be assured that goodness and mercy shall follow you all the days of your life, and in the end you will dwell in my house forever. This is perfect protection, everlasting keeping, and your eternal inheritance as my beloved child. My beloved, I want you to understand that my purpose is not merely to help you survive trials, but to lead you into a life of victory. I did not create you just to endure from day to day, but to live fully in the abundance of my plan. The enemy wants you to believe that you only need to crawl your way through, but I tell you that you were made to stand firm, to run the race with strength, and to be more than a conqueror. As it is written in Romans 8:37, all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. I do not only want you to escape snares, but to become an instrument to set others free. The light I have placed within you is not meant to be hidden, but to shine in the darkness. You are called to bear witness to those who are still lost, that through what they see me do in your life, they may be drawn to me. As Matthew 5:1-4-16 says, "You are the light of the world. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven." Your life, your victories, will be a lighthouse to guide many souls struggling in the shadows. My child, the armor I have given you is not only for defense, but also for advance. The sword of my word in your hand carries power to destroy every scheme of the enemy. When you proclaim my promises, lies must retreat. When you pray with faith, heaven shakes. When you choose praise in the midst of trial, invisible chains are broken. Remember Paul and Silas in prison, beaten and bound, yet still singing hymns. And in that midnight hour the prison shook and the chains fell off. So too, when you choose praise over complaint, faith over fear, you will see miracles manifest in your life. Know this, your very life is a testimony. People are watching you, friends, family, even strangers. They observe how you respond to hardship. When they see you do not collapse, when they see you persist in prayer, when they see you sing praises in adversity, then they will recognize that there is a mighty God with you, and in that moment their hearts will be stirred to seek me. You are not fighting only for yourself, but for those who will be saved through the light shining from your victory. My child, a mighty tree is not strong because it has never faced storms, but because it has endured many seasons of wind and rain. So it is with you. Your true strength does not come from avoiding trials, but from standing steadfast when they come. Each time you endure, the roots of your faith grow deeper, and your spirit becomes stronger. This is why I allow trials not to destroy, but to build. Not to weaken, but to forge you into a seasoned warrior. I have already overcome the enemy. The cross stands as proof that love has conquered death. Light has triumphed over darkness. The empty tomb declares that the last enemy has been defeated. If I have overcome death itself, then nothing in your life is too great for me. Though doors appear closed, I can open them. Though walls seem unbreakable, I can bring them down. Though dreams seem buried, I can call them back to life, as I once called Lazarus out of the grave. Guard your heart, for the enemy will try to whisper lies that you are unworthy, that you have gone too far, that hope is gone. But answer him with truth. You are my beloved child, redeemed by the blood, destined for a future filled with hope. Do not argue with him using human reasoning, but wield my word. Just as I said in the wilderness, it is written, and the adversary fled. So too, let your lips declare the scriptures, and he will have no power over you. This battle does not end in defeat, but in triumph. The outcome has already been sealed. I have overcome the world. Darkness may press in, but my light cannot be extinguished. As John 1:5 proclaims, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Therefore, walk forward in confidence, not because you are strong, but because you know the Mighty One is with you. I call you to rise. Do not merely survive, but live abundantly. Do not merely keep yourself, but bear witness. Do not merely exist, but fulfill the purpose I placed within you. You are appointed to be salt and light, to bring hope to despair, to declare that I am the living God. So lift up your head, let your mouth be filled with praise. Let your hands hold firmly to my word. Let your heart anchor itself in unfailing love. And as you do, victory will not only belong to you, but will spread to those around you. And through your life, the world will know that I am the faithful God, the one who does what no one else can do. My beloved, I want you to know that I am not a distant deity enthroned far above the heavens, watching you with indifference. On the contrary, I am very near, closer than the breath you breathe and the beat of your heart. I see every tear that falls, I hear every whisper spoken in the night, and I know even the thoughts you never voice. Even when you believe that no one understands you, I already perceive every hidden intent of your soul. As Psalm 1391, the 3rd of December, lares, O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. You never need to fear abandonment, for my presence always surrounds you. My child, there are times you have mistaken my silence as indifference. But in truth, I have been working behind the veil, unseen to your eyes. Like a potter patiently shaping clay, I too am molding you, fashioning you into a masterpiece. At times the process is painful, for I must remove what is unnecessary, reshape what is flawed, and refine what is incomplete. Yet all of this is because I desire you to become a vessel fit for my purposes. As Isaiah 6:4-8 declares, "Yet you, Lord, are our Father. We are the clay, you are the potter, we are all the work of your hand." My presence is not only to comfort you, but also to guide you. I do not only wipe away your tears, but also show you the path to walk. Many times you have stood at crossroads uncertain of the right choice or the best plan for your future. But my child, I have already promised, trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. Proverbs 3:5-6. You do not need to stumble in the dark alone, for I am the light guiding every step you take. My presence is not a vague idea, it is a reality that can be experienced. When you open your heart in prayer, when you lift up praise, when you choose trust instead of worry, you will feel a peace that words cannot describe. That peace does not come from the world, but from me, the one who reigns over all. As Philippians 4:7 declares, the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. I know you have often asked yourself, why must I walk this thorny path? My child, understand this. I have not led you into hardship to abandon you there. I guide you through trials to refine you, to open your eyes to my faithfulness, and to shape you into a witness for others. When you overcome, you will carry a powerful testimony, a living story that no one can deny. And through it, my name will be glorified, and your soul will be strengthened. Remember Joseph, who was sold by his brothers into slavery, falsely accused and thrown into prison. To human eyes, it seemed like a chain of injustice and failure. But to my eyes, it was preparation for a great mission. It was through those years of suffering that Joseph was lifted up as governor, saving countless lives during famine. My child, I am doing the same in your life. What you see as obstacles, I am turning into stepping stones. What you see as failure, I am making into a platform for spiritual advancement. I am here to strengthen your soul. When you feel too weak, remember that my grace is sufficient for you. When you feel drained of strength, remember that my power is made perfect in weakness. When you have no words left to pray, simply sigh, for my Spirit intercedes for you with groans that words cannot express. I do not demand you to be strong as the world defines strength. I only ask you to cling faithfully to me, that I may become your strength. So pause and recognize that I am here. Do not seek me in faraway places, for I am very near. Do not think I act only in dazzling miracles, for sometimes I move in quiet moments, in stillness, in the gentle peace that enters your heart. Learn to look, learn to listen, and you will see me in every detail. My presence is the guarantee that you are never alone. Wherever you go, whatever circumstance you face, I am with you. When you fall, I lift you up. When you are lost, I guide you. When you are in pain, I embrace you. When you rejoice, I rejoice with you. I am Emmanuel, God with us. My beloved child, I want you to understand this. My presence is not only to comfort you in weakness, but also to protect you in battle. You do not face the forces of darkness on your own. I am the fortress around you, the warrior who goes before you, the one who shelters you in every path. As Psalm 9:1-4 says, he will cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you will find refuge. His faithfulness will be your shield and rampart. Imagine a mother bird spreading her wings to protect her young from the storm. That is how I cover you, in unchanging love and faithfulness. How many times have I rescued you without your knowing? There were times you thought yourself merely lucky to escape danger, but it was truly my hand intervening. I prevented disasters from drawing near. I blocked hidden schemes that the enemy intended to use against you. Some accidents should have happened, yet I restrained them from touching you. Harsh words were aimed at you, but I rendered them powerless. You cannot count the times I have saved you, for most of them occurred unseen. My presence is a shield against every arrow of the evil one. But that shield works only when you choose to stand beneath it. If you run outside of my cover, you will be easily wounded. That is why I call you not to rely on your own strength or understanding. You may think yourself wise enough to protect yourself, but no one in this world can withstand the invisible powers except me. Remain in me, and you will be safe. Remember my words in John 1:5. Apart from me, you can do nothing. My protection does not mean you will never face trials, but that you will never be destroyed by them. The enemy may draw near, but he cannot prevail. The storm may rise, but it will not drown you. The fire may burn around you, but it will not consume you. As Isaiah 4:3-2 promises, when you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and when you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. The flames will not set you ablaze. This is my guarantee to you. No matter how fierce the circumstances, my presence remains, your unshakable stronghold. Do not be surprised that the enemy continually attacks. He knows you belong to me, and so he seeks to bring you down. But what he intends for harm, I turn for good. What he designs to break you, I use to strengthen you. What he hopes will cause despair, I transform into testimony to uplift others. What he thinks will end in failure, I turn into an opportunity for my power to be revealed. Remember Joseph's story again. His brothers sold him into slavery thinking his life was ruined. Yet I turned that betrayal into the very path that lifted him to where I wanted him to be. Governor to save many lives. In the same way, what the enemy intends for your destruction, I will use to fulfill my purpose. As Genesis 5:20 declares, you intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Do not fix your eyes on the danger before you, fix them on the one who is with you. I am the one who calms the storm, who moves mountains, who shatters the plots of the wicked. You need not tremble at threats, for I have said. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Isaiah 4:1-10. My presence is not passive protection, but active strength that enables you to rise and move forward. I do not call you to sit still in fear, but to stand firm in faith, to put on spiritual armor, and to step out with courage. I have placed within you the potential to fight, to overcome, to live as a conqueror. That potential is revealed only as you cling to me. Do not fear your weakness, for my power is made perfect in your weakness. Hold tightly to my hand and walk forward, even when the path ahead is veiled in mist. You do not need to know every answer. You only need to know me, the one who goes before you, the one who protects, the one who delivers. When you put your trust in me, you will not only be safe, but transformed. You will no longer walk as one bound by fear, but as a child who knows they are in the hands of an Almighty Father. My beloved child, I am not here only to shield you from the present storm, but also to prepare you for the future. I did not create you merely to live in safety, but to step boldly into the great mission I have appointed for you. You were not born to hide, but to confront, to overcome, and to walk in glory. I do not call you to be a victim, but a bearer of victory. This is why I continually call you to rise, to move forward, and to trust in me. I know there are times you hesitate out of fear of the unknown. The future seems like a thick curtain, and you worry that behind it lies failure, loss, or pain. But my child, the future is not in the hands of the enemy, nor in the hands of man, but in mine. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I wrote the story of your life before your first cry, and I am the one who will bring it to completion. Nothing lies beyond my control, and nothing can stop my purpose for you. Remember my word in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. You may not see the whole plan, but trust that my intent for you is never destruction, but always life, hope, and flourishing. Even if you are in the wilderness, I am preparing for you a promised land. Even if you are in darkness, I am leading you toward a new dawn. I do not promise that the path ahead will be without trials, but I promise that you will never walk it alone. I will be with you in every step, in every choice, in every season of life. When you are weak, I will strengthen you. When you are lost, I will guide you. When you fall, I will lift you. And when you have no strength left, I will carry you in my mighty arms. As Isaiah 4:6 says, even to your old age and gray hairs, I am he who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. I do not only want you to overcome for yourself, but to become a voice of encouragement for others. For there are those watching you, learning from how you keep faith in the midst of trials. When they see you stand firm, they will find hope. When they see you trust, they will realize there is a God worth relying on. You are called to be a living witness of my faithfulness. You may ask yourself, am I enough to carry this mission? My child, it is I who will strengthen you. You do not need to worry about your own ability, for true power comes from me. Remember what I said to Paul, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 1:2-9. It is precisely in the places where you feel insufficient that I will bring completion. It is precisely in your weakness that my power is revealed in radiant glory. Do not let the past bind you. Do not let old failures or past mistakes keep you from stepping into the new thing I have prepared. Your past does not define you. I define you. You are no longer one bound, but one redeemed by the price of blood. You are no longer condemned, but forgiven. You are no longer lost, but called into destiny. Walk as one who is free, for the truth has set you free. Do not fear the darkness, for I am the light upon your path. Do not tremble before the storm, for I am the one who calms the wind and the waves. Do not grow weary when the road seems long, for I am the one who goes before you and makes the way. Let your heart be filled with hope, for I have never broken a promise, and I never will. This is the moment when you must choose how to live, either to be ruled by fear or to be led by faith. I am calling you forth, not to merely exist, but to live abundantly, to live as one who is loved, one who is called, one who is equipped to transform the world around you. You may think yourself small, but in my hand you will become a mighty instrument. You may think yourself useless, but I have placed within you a purpose that no one else can replace. My beloved child, I remind you once more that your life is not just a string of meaningless days. Every breath you take, every step you walk, every decision you make carries eternal weight. You were not created to drift in indifference, nor to let the current of life carry you aimlessly, but to choose to walk in light or in darkness, to choose to rely on me or to lean on your own strength, to choose to trust my word or to follow deceitful voices. That choice I have placed in your hands, because I do not desire a forced relationship but a love freely given. Free will is both a gift and a responsibility. I long for a genuine communion with you, not reluctant obedience. Therefore I have set before you two paths, life and death, blessing and curse, and I earnestly call you to choose life. Deuteronomy 30:19. You may think that choice is made only once, but in truth it is made daily in the smallest details. When you choose forgiveness over bitterness, you are choosing life. When you choose prayer over complaint, you are choosing life. When you choose trust over fear, you are choosing life. And those choices gradually shape your entire destiny. I have seen you many times at the crossroads, torn in heart, clouded in mind. You fear making the wrong decision. You worry that one misstep will cost you everything. But I want you to know that when you truly seek me, when you yield your will into my hands, I will lead you on the right path. I am not a father who folds his arms and watches you stumble, but one who longs to guide you into the safest way. As it is written in Psalm 3:2-8, I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. You do not need to walk in darkness, for I am the light that illuminates your way. My child, at times you think that obedience robs you of freedom, but in truth, only in obedience to me will you find true freedom. When you yield your will to me, you do not lose your life, but you find it. For my thoughts for you are always higher than your own, and the path I prepare for you is always greater than the one you would choose for yourself. Sometimes I withhold you from going down a way you thought was right, not to frustrate you, but because I see dangers hidden from your eyes. Like a father who stops his child from walking toward a steep abyss, so I restrain you to protect you. You may not yet understand, but trust that all I do is born of love. The choice you make today will shape tomorrow. If you allow fear to reign, you will remain bound in darkness. But if you let faith lead you, you will walk in the fullness I have prepared. If you lean only on your own understanding, you will be easily misled. But if you place your trust in me, you will never be put to shame. I do not promise that you will avoid trials, but I promise that you will never be abandoned in them. Look back and see, every time you chose me, you found peace. Every time you chose prayer over complaint, you found strength. Every time you chose forgiveness over revenge, you found freedom. This is proof that the right choice always brings life. And now again you stand before a choice. You can let fear and lies sway you, or you can put your trust fully in me. I plead with you, choose me, choose life, choose the path that leads to peace and hope. I know this is not easy. I know that to choose me often means letting go of things you still cling to tightly. Perhaps it is plans you have cherished, dreams you thought would bring happiness, or even relationships that are not of me. Surrender is never easy, but I promise that when you release them, I will place into your hands something far greater. You never lose when you choose me. You only exchange the small for the great, the fleeting for the eternal. My beloved child, obedience is not a vague idea spoken only in words, but the concrete action of faith. Many proclaim with their lips that they believe in me, yet their lives walk contrary to my word. I do not desire half-hearted obedience. I seek a heart fully yielded. Remember that faith is not a passing feeling, but a living choice, expressed in every decision, every step, every action. My child, obedience often means stepping out of your comfort zone. You cannot claim to trust me while clinging tightly to everything in your own hands. You cannot claim to surrender while still worrying, still controlling, still living by your own understanding. Obedience requires relinquishing that control and placing it into my hands. Remember Abraham when I called him to leave his homeland and go to a land he had never seen. He had no map, no certainty, but he walked because he trusted that I was leading. And that obedience made him the father of many nations. I know that obedience sometimes stirs fear because it compels you to face the unknown. But believe that behind the unknown stands the one who knows all. You do not need to see the whole road. You only need to take the first step. When you place your foot down, I will open the next. When you walk into the dark by faith, my light will illuminate each portion of the way. As Psalm 119:105 says, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path." Obedience also means choosing me over the voices of the world. The world will whisper that you must rely on yourself, that you must grasp tightly, that you cannot let go if you want to succeed. But I say to you, whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for my sake will find it. Matthew 1:6-5. You never lose by obeying. You only trade the temporary for the eternal, the fleeting for the everlasting. Obedience means walking against the current. When the world seeks its own gain, I call you to live for a higher purpose. When others choose vengeance, I call you to forgive. When others hoard, I call you to give. When others remain silent before injustice, I call you to speak truth. You will be misunderstood, opposed, even rejected. But remember that I too was rejected, denied, and crucified. And if the world hated me, it will also hate those who belong to me. But do not fear, for I have overcome the world. John 1:6-3. Obedience is also the key that unlocks miracles. Often I do not require you to perform great deeds, but a small act of obedience can bring extraordinary results. Consider Naaman, the mighty commander, afflicted with leprosy. When Elisha told him to wash 7 times in the Jordan, he hesitated, thinking it too simple, too beneath him. Yet only when he humbled himself and obeyed did his flesh become clean like that of a child. Do you see, miracles are always linked with obedience? My child, obedience to me is not a one-time act but a continual way of life. Each day you face choices whether to forgive or to hold on to bitterness, whether to trust or to drown in worry, whether to obey or to delay. I know you are not perfect, and I do not demand flawless obedience. I only desire a willing heart, a spirit eager to seek my will above your own. Obedience is never wasted. At times you may not see immediate results, but believe that every step of obedience brings you closer to your destiny. Every time you let go to embrace my will, you open the door for blessing to flow. Every time you place my wisdom above your own, you are laying a foundation that no one can destroy. I plead with you to live a life of true obedience. Do not merely speak it, but show it in action. Do not only hear my word, but live it out. Do not only pray in times of need, but let faith guide your every moment. If you do this, you will witness miracles unfold, doors open, and unseen chains broken. You will not merely survive, but live in abundance, live in true freedom, and live as a witness of my glory. My beloved child, the choice you make today does not affect you alone, but ripples out to those around you, and even to generations yet to come. Every decision you make is like a seed sown. It may yield sweet fruit or bring forth bitter consequences. Therefore, I urge you to obey and to place your trust in me, so that the seed you plant will produce a harvest of abundance, not only for yourself, but for all who walk after you. Remember that Israel once stood at the threshold of the promised land. A single decision of unbelief caused them to wander 40 years in the wilderness. Yet Joshua and Caleb, who chose to trust in me, entered the land and enjoyed my faithfulness in full. My child, in the same way, your choice today will determine whether you enter into abundance or continue circling in barren wilderness. I do not want you to waste your life in hesitation, fear, or unbelief. I want you to step boldly into the promised inheritance I have prepared. My child, I know that many times you feel too small to make a difference. You think that your choices carry no weight in a vast world. Yet, beloved one, it is the repeated small choices that shape an entire life. Just as a mighty river begins with hidden streams, so your life is built upon seemingly simple decisions. When you choose prayer instead of despair, forgiveness instead of hatred, trust instead of doubt, these very choices carve out a path that leads you into the glorious destiny I have prepared. Obedience itself becomes a legacy. One day, those who come after you will look upon your life as a living testimony. They will learn from you how to keep faith amid trials, how to praise in the night, how to obey even without full understanding. And through your life, they will see that I am the faithful God. This is why I call you not only to live for today, but to live for the spiritual inheritance you will leave behind. Not an inheritance of wealth, but of faith. Not one of fleeting accomplishments, but of eternal victories. Remember Abraham. He obeyed me, and through that obedience, a great nation was born, and blessing flowed to many. So too, your choices may become a channel of blessing to many. When you choose me, you open the door for others to enter into blessing. When you stand firm in faith, you lay the foundation for generations to come. When you surrender in obedience, you are writing a story that others will read and be strengthened by. I do not hide from you that obedience has a cost. There will be times when you lose what you thought you could not live without. There will be times when others misunderstand you or even oppose you. There will be times when you must release what you love in order to grasp what I desire. But believe this, whatever price you pay in obedience will never compare to the blessing I have reserved for you. As it is written in Romans 8:1-8, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. My child, I do not call you to walk in a blind darkness, but to walk in the light of my word. Each time you choose me, you strengthen the bond between us. Each time you set aside your own will to embrace mine, you deepen a fellowship that cannot be shaken. And within that fellowship, you will discover strength, joy, and safety. Do not think that obedience affects only the present moment. It is the bridge connecting you with the future. I have promised you, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no heart has conceived what God has prepared for those who love him. 1 Corinthians 2:9. That future is not far away. It begins with the small steps of obedience today. So choose to live in obedience. Let your life be the living evidence that following me is never in vain. Let each of your decisions reflect absolute trust in me. Let your heart be fully mine, your lips proclaim my promises, and your feet walk the path I set before you. And then when you look back, you will see a journey not wasted, a life not only redeemed but fruitful, leaving behind a spiritual inheritance that will endure for generations. My beloved child, you have now reached a crucial point in your journey. This is not a fleeting moment, but a spiritual threshold where you must decide whether to step into the fullness I have prepared or linger in hesitation. Time is no longer abundant, and every moment you live carries weight. I call you to open your eyes to see, your ears to hear, and your heart to respond to my voice. Do not think you can delay, for today is the day of salvation. Today is the appointed hour. Look around and discern the signs of the times. Grow clearer. The darkness deepens and temptations spread everywhere. The enemy does not sleep, and he labors urgently to shake your faith. He knows his time is short, and so he intensifies his schemes. This is not the hour to slumber, nor the hour to grow weary. This is the hour to stand firm, to put on the full armor I have provided, and to fight in the strength of the Spirit. As Ephesians 6:1-3 declares, therefore put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything, to stand. Understand this: to stand firm is not merely to avoid falling, but to remain steadfast in faith, though the storm rages around you. You will hear many voices in the world, voices of fear, of doubt, of despair. Yet among all those clamors I still speak. My voice may be gentle as a whispering breeze, but it carries the power to awaken your soul. If you incline your heart, you will know that I am here calling you not to give up. My child, you often think you are not strong enough to continue, but I remind you that strength does not come from yourself, it comes from me. In your weakness, my power is made perfect. When you fall, I am the one who lifts you up. When you have no strength left to pray, my Spirit intercedes for you with groanings too deep for words. You are not alone in this battle. My angels surround you, and I, the Almighty One, fight on your behalf. Remember the miracles I have performed in the past, and let them encourage your faith in the present. I parted the Red Sea, I shut the mouths of lions, I quenched the flames of the furnace, I raised the dead to life. These are not mere stories, but testimonies that I am unchanging. What I did for them, I will do for you. If I preserved them in the day of trouble, I will preserve you in this hour of crisis. Let the memory of my faithfulness become the strength that carries you forward. This is the time to put your faith into action. Faith is not passive waiting, but rising to walk even when the whole road is not revealed. Faith is Peter stepping onto the water, though the waves raged around him. Faith is Joshua circling Jericho, though the walls still towered. Faith is Mary saying, "Let it be to me according to your word." Faith always moves into action. And today I call you to act. Place your hand in mine. Surrender your worries. Walk upon my promises. Do not fear if you feel your faith is only small. For I have said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can move mountains. What matters is not the size of your faith, but the one in whom you place it. If you place your trust wholly in me, the Creator, the Redeemer, the Almighty, nothing will be impossible. Recognize that this is an urgent hour. The clock is striking and the enemy crouches at the door. You have no time left for wavering, no room for delay. Choose to stand with me now. Choose to trust my word today. Choose to act in faith in this very moment. For tomorrow is not yours, but today is the day I call you to answer. My beloved child, understand clearly that the battle before you is not merely personal, but part of the great spiritual conflict that spans humanity. From the beginning, when light and darkness collided, the enemy has sought to resist me and to destroy what I love. You are part of this picture, a warrior chosen to stand in the ranks of light. Therefore, what you endure is not merely your own trial, but your participation in a battle far greater than your eyes can see. I do not hide from you that the enemy seeks to strike at your weaknesses. He whispers, lies, sows doubt, and makes you feel small and powerless. But I remind you, you are not alone. You have the full armor of the Spirit in your hands, and I, myself, am the commander of this battle. Put on the armor. I provide the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shoes of the gospel of peace, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is my word. When you stand clothed in this armor, you will not only endure, you will overcome. If you rely on yourself, you will quickly grow weary. But if you rely on me, the inexhaustible source of strength, you will be renewed to run without fainting, to walk without growing tired. Isaiah 40:31. The enemy may seek to encircle you, but remember what I have declared, greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. 1 John 4:4. This truth never changes, no matter how fierce the battle becomes. Do not underestimate your role. The enemy wants you to believe that you have no value, that you are just an ordinary person who makes no difference in the bigger picture. But my child, I have chosen you, I have called you by name, I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. You are part of a great plan, and every step you take in faith shakes the spiritual realm. A single prayer of yours, though it seems small, has the power to overthrow an entire army of darkness. A single declaration of faith, though it seems simple, breaks the chains of those held captive. Do not despise your voice and your actions, for when you walk in unity with me, all of heaven stands on your side. Look at the witnesses who have gone before. David was only a shepherd boy, but when he put his trust in me, he brought down Goliath. Elijah was an ordinary man, yet his prayer shut the heavens for 3.5 years, and then opened them again when he called upon me. Esther was an orphaned girl, yet her courage saved an entire nation from destruction. Do you see? It was not they who were great, but I who was great in them, and I desire to do the same through you. The spiritual battle is not meant to make you tremble, but to reveal my power and my faithfulness. I do not call you to shrink back in fear, but to stand firm as a warrior. When you pray, you are joining in a battle where angels fight on your behalf. When you worship, you are raising the banner of the kingdom's victory. When you trust, you are bearing witness to the world that I am the living God. You are part of a greater body, my church. Every prayer you lift adds to the collective victory. Every act of faith you take strengthens others to keep pressing forward. You and your brothers and sisters in the faith are joined in a spiritual network where I am the head, and all are united to fulfill my purpose on this earth. Do not be afraid when the battle feels fierce. I have promised that the enemy will not overcome you. As Romans 8:3-7 declares, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. Victory is not a fragile possibility, but a sealed certainty secured at the cross. Because I have overcome death, I also give you the power to walk in victory. Do not retreat, do not give up, do not compromise. Stand firm as a called warrior, a chosen child, a sent witness. Let your lips declare my promises. Let your hands grip the sword of my word. Let your heart burn with unfailing love. And you will see the enemy will tremble. Chains will fall, and my glory will shine through your life. My beloved child, this is the decisive moment. Throughout your journey, I have reminded you of my love, my presence, my protection, and the victory I have prepared for you. Now I call you to choose decisively. Will you allow fear to continue holding you, or will you step into the freedom I purchased for you with my blood on the cross? Will you let the past bind you, or will you release it to enter a new season? Will you listen to the lies of the enemy, or will you cling to my eternal, unchanging promises? I speak to you with the love of a father. Delay no longer. Time is short, and the day of my return draws near. This is the time for you to stand firm, to choose life, to step into the mission I have placed upon your life. I have equipped you with everything you need: armor, weapons, faith promises, and the presence of the Holy Spirit. You lack nothing. All you must do is rise and walk in obedience. Remember, the victory has already been secured. I defeated the enemy at the cross. The empty tomb is proof that darkness cannot overcome light, and death cannot triumph over life. Therefore, you are not moving toward an uncertain victory, but walking from a victory already accomplished. You only need to hold fast to faith and follow the path I set before you. As 2 Corinthians 2:1-4 proclaims, "Thanks be to God, who always leads us in triumph in Christ." Do not focus on what you lack. Focus on the one you have. Do not dwell on limitations. Look to the infinite strength that comes from me. Do not keep staring at past failures. Fix your eyes on the glory ahead. As Paul wrote, forgetting what lies behind and straining toward what is ahead, I press on toward the goal to win the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. Philippians 3:1-14. So must you leave the past behind, run the race, with eyes set on the finish line where I await you. I know you are weary. I know the storms you have endured. But hear me, you have never been alone. In every tear I was there. In every fall I lifted you up. Every dark night I watched over you. And now I still hold your hand, drawing you into a new season, a season of restoration, a season of abundance, a season of victory. Do not fear, for I go with you. Do not lose heart, for I have prepared the way. I call you to be a voice of hope to this world. There are so many lost, yearning for light. They need to see my faithfulness through your life. You are not called only to receive, but also to give, to share, to testify that I am the living God. When you live in obedience, you will become a lamp that shines an encouragement to others, an instrument through which many will find me. My child, I speak to you, arise, clothe yourself with strength, put on the armor of light, walk forward with courage. Do not hesitate, do not fear, do not turn back. Move ahead, for ahead lies victory, ahead lies hope, ahead lies wholeness. The enemy will try to hinder, but he cannot defeat you. Storms may rise, but they cannot drown you. The fire of trials may blaze, but it cannot consume you. For I, the Lord your God, am with you. Engrave this upon your heart: nothing can separate you from my love. neither trouble nor hardship, neither powers above nor below. As Romans 8:39 assures, "For I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor rulers, neither things present nor things to come, nor powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord." That love is the firm foundation for you to walk upon, the strength to keep you standing, and the fire that drives you to finish the race. I call you to decide today. Choose me, choose life, choose truth. Offer your whole heart, your will, your life to me. When you do, you will not only be saved, but also transformed, commissioned, and made into a vessel that carries light and life to many others. You will no longer walk as one oppressed, but as a victor. No longer as one chained, but as one set free. No longer as a wandering soul, but as a beloved child of God. I am waiting for your response. My hand is reaching out. My heart is wide open. Victory is ready. All you need to do is step forward, take my hand, and say, "Lord, I choose you." And when you say that, all of heaven will rejoice, all of hell will tremble, and your soul will be lifted into freedom and everlasting victory. Thank you for listening to today's message. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we may receive the living word, build strong faith, and walk in the boundless love of the Lord. Amen.